G'day guys, welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel, and what a game, man. What a game, man. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, Akpos. Seriously, man. I lost my shit, man. 20 minutes after that, man. 20 minutes into this game, I was pulling my hair out. 10 minutes later, I'm jumping for joy. My man Akpos in the building. We're going to review this motherfucker, and hopefully Kyle Walsh Gunner will join us very soon. But Akpos, how are you doing, bro? I know Man United in the background's thinking this. He's doing this right now, but I know Akpos is doing this right now.
Well, it was a very enjoyable watch for me. I think we got the job done. When we talked about the game during the preview show, we talked about how we wanted this one to be a good watch for the fans, and also we wanted to go on the pitch, get the job done, have a good performance. And it seems these guys are already subscribed to the channel. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification button, because this is where we dissect and this is where we bring all of our undiluted opinion about what we think about the game. So I think Mikel and most of the players must have definitely watched the preview show, and they had to get the job done. So it was a very good one.
Oh, it was fucking wonderful. Kyle Walsh Gunner in the building. Thank you for joining us, my man. How are you?
Big up to the two legends. How are you, man? You as well?
Oh, well. We're fucking good. Sexy right now, bro. We're high right now. How are you, man?
Well, let me tell you, I'm very good. As you can see, I'm in my bus and I have a school team playing in an All-Ireland semi-final. Massive game. Kicking off at 1 o'clock. So I'm parked up here, all excited for the big match.
Man, let's fucking look. Honestly, you're surrounded by football. You know what I mean? You got to win. You got to win. What I think it was last night. I don't know if it was this morning. Look, guys, I'm in Australia. It's 11 o'clock at night, so I don't know exactly what time it was in the UK when this game kicked off. But hopefully these kids can get a win as well, Kyle. Man, welcome to the channel, man.
Absolutely. This is my third football match this week. Leinster final, All-Ireland semi-final, and a junior final as well. So all football, work football, life football, and Arsenal football. So all good. It's going good.
Big up, Kyle. Big up, Craig. Big up, Craig. Thanks for that one. Big up, man. Guys, look, honestly, this game to me, we were chatting it. We were chatting about this, me and your Akpos, about how much this game meant, and that we had to be a bit more direct, and we had to be imposing in this game. Now, I'll be honest with you, for the first 25 minutes of this game, I wasn't very impressed. Now, the first 25 minutes, there were wayward passes. There was a lot of possession, but Everton were breaking on us. Now, I don't know how you guys felt in the first 25, but the first 25 minutes for me, I was doing, oh, shit. This is looking much of the same as the first game. I don't know. Akpos, first 25 minutes for you. Were you fucking sort of sitting on your hands saying, oh, fuck, here we go?
The first 25 minutes for me, I think I expect teams to play a little bit that way when they play us currently, because for us to be top of the league, it's not by mistake. It shows that we have got quality. So you can't just come, especially at the Emirates, where we've made a lot of teams suffer this season. So you can't just come there and want to come out all out. So you need to try to frustrate us a little bit. That's what they try to do. They try to replicate what they did at the game at Goodison Park. I think for the first 25, 30 minutes, they tried to frustrate us. But we kept our game plan. We made sure that we kept our heads in the game. We were doing all of the things we were doing. But I think in that first 25, 30 minutes, we did not pass the ball as quick as I would have expected. We talked about 1-2 being very, very direct. But I think like we were a little bit slow in the transition. We were a little bit slow in getting the balls to the winger. I think we're taking too many touches in getting the ball to the winger. I think we needed to go, 1-2 touches and the ball gets to the winger, the players who are going to be in these decisive positions. I think after the 35 minutes mark, we were doing the things I wanted to see, moving the ball a lot more faster, getting the balls to the wingers, and that was what resulted in the first goal from Bukayo Saka. And
definitely,
I look at Bukayo Saka now. I look at this kid from when he was brought in initially to begin to train with the first team and actually got his debut and all. And I see how this lad has improved from a player who's coming from the academy, from a young prospect, into a big player. And with Bukayo Saka right now, I just feel like if he keeps his head in the game with how he is developing, I think he's just 21 or so. we have a potential top player in our hand. Top player. He's already hit double goal contribution. This is in double goals already. It's getting close to getting double figures assist. So I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about the young prospects we have, the young players we have, who, in my opinion, I look at them as, and I feel they are top players, and they are on the right path to being elite footballers, in my opinion.
Sign the ting, Bukayo Saka. That's what Akpos is saying. Sign the ting.
Kyle, he has to sign it.
Right, big time. Kyle, first 25 minutes. I don't know. I know, look, it's not about negativity. It's about, it's not positivity, negativity. It's calling a spade a spade. The first 25 minutes for me, I mean, let's be honest. Gunaresh was saying it. Look, big up BX Gunner. Thank you for waking up for this one, man. Big up yourself. And he's even saying, remind the FA, it's red and white ribbons on the fucking trophy this year. This guy's fucking keen. But Kyle, first 25 minutes. You wondering this game's going to go in the bin? Because it looked like it was, honestly, for me. I don't know about you, but I wasn't being negative, but I was being a little bit
Yeah, I thought the first half an hour, I thought was dodgy. I didn't see much coming from us. I thought to myself, Jesus, here we are, game in hand, massive game, and we're going to blow us. So I was very glad when Saka hit the back of the net, it was Arsenal's game all over then. There was no, everything, you just see the Gulf of class all over the pitch. And we played some great, fantastic football. Some of the best football this season, I thought, the second half. We were outstanding. I thought Thomas Partey was exceptional when he came on. And
phenomenal.
We have to talk here about this Saka chap. I'm always saying Saka's a very good player, but he's not world class. I have said that in previous videos, but I'm starting to eat humble pie. I think this Saka is within this of being world class. I'm going to ask a question. I think at this moment in time, on form, I think Saka walks into any football club in the world. That's how good he is.
On form right now, it's looking like it. Yeah, I could agree.
He's exceptional.
I mean,
and if we keep being fit and keep playing the football that we played in the second half there last night, I will be eating a lot of humble pie come the end of this season. And I will eat it, no problem. I'll be all too delighted to eat it. But let's not start getting excited just yet. There's 13 games left to go.
The season is not said and done. The season's not said and done. But we can be a little bit excited. And that's what BX Gunner's saying. He's starting to see the light. You know what I mean? The light at the end of the tunnel. And so am I. I mean, look, that first goal that came in from that came in from Saka. Zinchenko, everybody talks about him out of position, running through the middle of the park. And I'm not one of the guys that says I like my left back to be a left back, but I can understand what he brings to this team. He's sitting there right in front of Ben White. He receives the ball from Ben White and then to Saka. For Saka to smash that ball into the back of the net. And we were talking about players hurrying up, getting on the ball, taking a shot, working the keeper. On his weaker foot, Saka smashes it past Pickford, makes Pickford look like a right fool. And to be perfectly honest, I was in awe of that goal. But it wasn't long after. And this is the hunger. Here we go. Wait, Craig, what do you got here? Arsenal now have accumulated 60 points after 25 matches in the Premier League. This season is joint fastest they've reached, a total alongside 2000, 2003, 2004, 2007. That's a big stat, Craig. That is a big fucking stat. Shit. That's a serious stat. Are you excited, Craig? Is that what's happening? But like what I was saying, going back to what I was saying, the second goal, Saka again. He's already got one goal, but the hunger was still there. Do you know what I mean, boys? Like if you guys feel where I'm coming from, he's gone from attack to defense to pick up the ball, get the ball to Martinelli, and he puts it into the back of the net. Saka again. This guy is honestly, when people say he's carrying the team, fuck me, is he carrying the team? He is Alexis Sanchez all over again, if not better.
What I see here is something I've been questioning for a long, long time about this Arsenal Football Club. The winning mentality, Steve, you know what I'm talking about, man. I'm always talking about it. The winning mentality. And for the first time in years, I can now officially say there's a winning mentality here. Just 1 second. One of the players get back on the bus to get a bag. Just give me 1 second there, Steve.
All good, mate. All good. Look, to be honest, Akpos, I think Kyle's got a point here. The winning mentality
exactly. I think it's spot on.
Sweat.
It's spot on about what I said about the winning mentality, and it's not just about the players now. We, the fans, we share the same feeling. We feel it. The fans that are in the stadium, the fans that are in the Emirates, they feel it. They are pushing the team. Even when the team goes a goal down, or when the player makes a mistake, you can feel the atmosphere. You can feel that this team is a team that's doing all the right things to go places, all the right things. They're ticking all the boxes. Because I look at the team. When we were talking about in the preview show, we talked about how we've not converted in the last couple of games. We've been wasteful in terms of converting the chances in front of goal. And our first 3 attempts on goal, we had the 3 goals we scored in that game. So this team is a team that wants to improve, a team that, when they make mistakes, they are willing to correct it. They're willing to. Heads are not going to drop in this team the way I look at them. A bad result, we've seen it this season, a bad result is not going to make their heads drop. Making a mistake in a game, considering a goal, is not going to make their heads drop. These guys are looking like mentality monsters right now at the moment. So I'm excited about this team. In a long, long while, I've not been this excited about any Arsenal team as much as I'm excited about this team right now. And the beautiful part of this whole thing with the team is the fact that we have a lot of young players who, in my opinion, I think they are not at their very peak of potential yet.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. It's a never say die attitude. We go a goal down, we come back 3 minutes later, we get a goal back. And in this game, the hunger was there. And Craig, AFC 87, yes, Steve Featley would have been proud of this display. Rest in peace, Steve. I haven't done too much. I haven't discussed Steve's unfortunate demise too much, but he was a much-loved content creator. Steve Featley was a great guy. I chatted to Steve Featley a fair bit, and to be honest, I think he would have been loving this. It's just unfortunate that he's no longer with us, and I hope he rests in peace. To be honest, Craig, the Zinchenko thing as well, I couldn't fit him into the poll. But yes, I would have put him up there as man of the match as well. It's a tough one. But big up everyone in the chat. Big up Prince Fawad. Big up Premier League TV. Proud to be a Geordie. Very impressive performance. I think so too. And I think my co-host would agree. We go a goal up, we're still hungry for another. Do you get what I'm saying? Like usually we used to go a goal up and we'd sit back. There was no sitting back. We got a goal and it was like there was blood in the water, and it was like let's go again. That goal from Martinelli, it was just that broke Everton into little bits. They crumbled after that 2-0, and for me it was done and dusted right then and there. The big thing here, the big deal for me was the 45-minute mark. Jorginho off, in comes Partey. And you know how people usually say Mikel Arteta, tactically inept, makes his changes too late. Credit where credit's due on this one. I think when Thomas Partey came in, where did Onana go? Guys, tell me, did you notice that Onana disappeared once Partey came in?
It went into the pocket of Thomas Partey. And that was what we're talking about. We need that aggression. We need that steel in this game.
You see, we're talking about the United fans talks about how important Casemiro is at Manchester United, and he's a huge player. Thomas Partey's the same with Arsenal. He's massive. This boy is a great player. He's a brilliant player. But I did hear that Jorginho was feeling very sick in the first half of last night's game, and that's why there was a substitution made at halftime. I heard that Arteta actually came out and said that Jorginho was sick at halftime.
Oh, really? Because he looked like he was big up BX Gunner, bloody oath, mate. He looked like he was struggling. He really looked like he was struggling. Yeah. Big up Captain's Corner.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was just for me. I looked at it and I went to myself, you know what? He's looking a bit off the pace. Usually, his passing was a little bit wayward. He was taking too many touches at some stages. Like, why are you taking so many touches before you release the ball? And I'm like, I've seen you in previous games. You're quick to pass. Today, you're a bit lethargic. I'm like, is he having an off game? Is this the Jorginho, the real Jorginho? But obviously, the illness might have made him feel a little bit awkward.
Arteta said that, Steve. That's why I'm saying it, because Arteta said that Jorginho was sick throughout that half. So that's why the sub was made. And I'm delighted that it was made, because it had to give him Partey that 45 minutes of play time. You know what I mean? He can only go out now against Bournemouth, isn't it, on Saturday? Or Sunday. he can go out now and give an exhibition against them as well. So it's looking great. It's looking great. Both, I've been shouting from the rooftops for a long time. Put Martinelli through the centre and Trossard on the wing, or vice versa. Get Eddie Nketiah out of the club altogether on my eyes, even though he did all right. He did all right when he came on last night. I give him credit where credit is due. But I think Trossard and Martinelli are making a great little team there together, you know. They're on the same wavelength. Two top players.
Oh, Trossard is looking like a wonderful signing, eh? 27 million coming in, and he is carving shit up. Third goal, we all saw that one. That third goal, Zinchenko again, huh? Akpos, Zinchenko again, breaks down the middle of the park. I think it was Martinelli who spread it wide for Trossard. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, before Trossard came in and put a ball into the box.
Yeah.
And where he's not scoring, he's assisting.
Yeah.
Honestly, 27 million.
It's a bargain.
Edu got his fucking business right. We dodged a bullet maybe with Mudryk. I don't know what you guys are saying to that.
I think the way things are going, I'm going to have to give Edu an apology and Arteta an apology and all the players. I'm going to be apologising to everyone because I'm at me shout from the rooftops for all these fellas to fuck off. But I think I'm being proved wrong this season.
Fucking mate.
Well,
I think we're happy to be.
With Trossard, I want to pick up my boy Kanebi. Remember, Aussie. We had a different choice of player for this position, but Kanebi was one person from the very start, even before we were interested in signing Leandro Trossard, was giving him a shout. Him and Kunle, Nigerian Englishman. So big up Kanebi and big up the Nigerian Englishman on that one. Your boy is as in the ground running, and we are excited about what it's going to continue to bring into this team. And for me, Trossard is a very big technical player in the way I look at him. Very skillful. I think defenders are wary of him because you don't know, he can shoot on both foots, good on the ball on both foots. He has got a skill, and it's the contribution he's bringing now. The assist is given to this team, and that's our understanding is beginning to build with Gabriel Martinelli. And I think on this show, I talked about how one of my own boy who's an Arsenal fan also talked about with the fact that he thought Martinelli had that dip in form because Eddie Nketiah was a different mode of player to what Gabriel Jesus was. And with Trossard coming into the team, we are beginning to see the Gabriel Martinelli that we saw from the start of the season. So I think I'm excited about these guys that are coming into the team now. I'm excited that we got Emmy Smith-Rowe who came on the pitch yesterday. That's a big addition also. If Zinchenko is not on the pitch, we have Kieran Tierney to come in, even though the way it's looking, Zinchenko has made that position a mainstay for him. And we don't know what's going to happen with Tierney, but I'm excited about these guys that are coming back into the team. And people should not forget that one of our key players, Gabriel Jesus, is not in the team currently, and we are playing this good. When it comes back, I think that should be added more firepower for us. And I'm excited. I'm just excited about what's going on at Football Club right now. And I hope that the owners are going to be seeing what the manager have done so far with this much backing. And come the end of the season, they are going to even double the backing they've given him in the previous transfer window. So let's see what's going to happen.
Mate, cross fingers. Because to be honest, he's gotten a tune out of a very young squad. Seriously, a very young squad. Big up everyone in the chat. BX Gunner's got one here. Arteta has made me eat my words numerous times already that I can talk about. Shit or doubt him anymore. We have our Arsenal back. BX Gunner, to be perfectly honest, I think that's the sentiment shared by everyone on this panel. And sometimes you have to eat humble pie. The guy has been working with a young squad. This is his squad. He's getting a tune out of them. We are top of the league. We are 5 points clear. And it's deserved. I think many a team are looking up at Arsenal now saying, shit, these guys are serious. And look, Gunaresh, same thing. BX Gunner. I was wrong about Arteta. I don't mind it at all. I don't think anyone minds to be wrong. No one wants. Look, I would be very happy to be wrong 99% of the time if that means Arsenal are going to win the league. I really couldn't care. Seriously, I don't care. It's not about clout. It's not about being egotistical. I'm happy to be fucking wrong for Arsenal all fucking day. And I mean, in this game, we saw plenty of goals, and we even saw Eddie Nketiah, the man that Kyle wants gone, gets on the pitch, has an opportunity to score, bluffs his line, stuffs it, but gets back in, gets himself an assist. Again, Zinchenko was involved, but you saw Eddie pointing where he wanted the ball, right? Zinchenko places it for him. Martinelli gets his second. Eddie gets himself an assist. The game finishes at 4. It could have been 5, to be perfectly fucking honest. But to be honest, even the boys coming off the bench, Eddie Nketiah, Thomas Partey off the bench, whatever you want to say, Emil Smith-Rowe coming off, it is positive. Kirantini came on, it is positive. I'm looking at this squad, and when we used to say, where's the depth? I'm seeing a lot of depth now, guys. I don't know about you. Tottenham Hotspur fans are screaming about depth this season. We've got all the depth. I think we've flipped the coin. I think we've got a better bench than they'll ever see. And I think this is a kind of a bench that could see us through to the end of the season, finishing top of the league. I don't know. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm jumping for joy, but Akpos, what do you are you feeling a little bit confident when it comes to this Premier League title race?
Yeah, with getting 5 points clear now, I'm getting confident also. I'm really getting confident. And you mentioned a point that for me I think it's key. The players we have coming back from injuries. These guys are going to be vital for the remaining half of the season, because we have some players who have played a lot of games, but we know that to win the league, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You need to have players that will come in and contribute. It's not going to be just, you can win. I don't think you can win the league with just the first team. You need backup players who are of top quality, who can come into the team and get the job done. Edin Ketia has contributed his own quota for the period when we were missing Gabriel Jesus. It was giving us the goals. He's had those a run of games where he struggled, in my opinion. It did not have it was not clinical. Leandro Trossard now has stepped into the team and is adding his own contribution in terms of the goals and assists. And the players on the wing, we've seen how vital these guys are. Gabriel Martinelli, Bukayo Saka currently on double figure goals. We are the only Premier League club with 2 players on double figure goals, and that's to tell you that we have a system that is working. We have a well-oiled engine, and when Gabriel Jesus comes into the team, I think that would be a massive lift for us. That would be a massive lift of the burden on the shoulders of Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka, because if he steps into the team, I think it's going to take on some of those responsibilities in terms of the goals, in terms of the assist. Emil Smith-Rowe, we saw him come onto the game. He played for the under-21 a couple of days ago. So these guys are people who will come into the team and contribute also. Fabio Vieira, we've not seen much of him, but we know that this is the guy who could potentially also come into the team for Martin Odegaard also, because this is somebody who has been playing a lot of games. So having all of those players available right now, availability is going to be key for us. We saw that the fact that we had Thomas Partey on the bench to come in for Jorginho when he was having a difficult game, that was also a key game changer. So having this depth in squad, having quality, because not just having players in your bench, players who would come onto the pitch and the quality of the play would not drop. That is what we've been screaming for. It's not necessarily if you have a Marquee signing or not, or a Marquee player or not, but a player who would be able to replicate that quality of play. And that is what we are beginning to see in most of these key positions for the Arsenal. Because if you take let's say Ben White and Tomiyasu is going to come in for him, I would not be scared, in my opinion. We know that Tomiyasu has not had a good couple of games, but is he quality? Which I agree, I think is a very good player, is a quality defender, but also he needs a run of games. So I think the manager has got an edict on his hand, because these guys are knocking on his door. They are telling him also we want to play. So, but at the end of the day, the team is benefiting. It is pushing us step by step closer to our goal, which is to finish the season on a high and potentially finish the season with a trophy.
Honestly, Kyle, would you agree? I mean, what do you think of our squad depth now? I know it was looking shoddy, but I look at our bench and I see game changers. I see players that can change the dynamic of the game. And Trossard coming in, he can change the dynamic. ESR can come in, change the dynamic. I mean, even if a Reece Nelson comes back, he's another player that's exciting. I don't know, what are you feeling about this depth that we've got at the moment? Is it going to be enough for us to be able to compete Europa League and Premier League? What do you think?
I think that's...
With Jesus coming back.
Yeah, I just want to say what my opinion is. And I listen, I'm delighted with what's going on. I need you all to understand this. I'm delighted, and I am delighted. And I want to eat humble pie, and I want to be proved wrong. I want to be proved wrong for the last 19 years, not just with Arteta, for the last 19 years. But Arteta's the man in charge now, and I want him to win this league. Jesus Christ, I want us to win this league so much. I personally don't think we have the squad good enough to win the Premier League. That's just my opinion. I think defensively, we're stuck. If something happens with Saliba or Gabriel, we're in trouble. I think holding is terrible. I don't know much about this Kiawara fella. You can't be expecting him to come in and be top class straight away. I hear what the two of you are saying. I know the two of you like Tomiyasu. I actually wouldn't put Tomiyasu out there with those players there now as we speak.
Oh.
That's my opinion about Tomiyasu.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's terrible. So, for us to win the Premier League, I still think our squad needs a bit more than what we have. We're not far away, and I know I'm pessimistic and negative. Both the jury is still out on this Arsenal squad at the moment. If you're to ask me, do I think this squad is good enough to win the Premier League? I think it's good enough to compete, but I don't think it's good enough to win us.
Wow. BX Gunner doesn't agree. He reckons we can do the double. Silver One saying yes. Do you agree? Silver One, do you agree with Kyle? Seriously? Chelsea OG, it's only been 2 decades. And it will be 2 decades before Chelsea win the Premier League again with your bow.
Oh, yeah, Steve, I just want to say something as well, mate. I know a fella told me that we're not to expect much from Vieira. Now, I'm not Vieira's biggest fan by any stretch of the imagination. But he said to me, next season, we're going to see the best of him. He told me he's a top quality player and there's a lot to come from simply. So
we have seen snippets, haven't we?
To next season.
We have seen snippets of that of Vieira coming in and really doing some bits. It's just taking time for him to really get used to this league.
He said next season you're going to see a different Vieira. This fella's seen him. He reckons he's top class, one of the most gifted players at the club, and that we're going to see him next season simply. So that's exciting,
mate. You know what? I look at this young squad, and there is a sense of belief. Usually, young squad, you can see frailties, indecisiveness. You know, maybe a little bit too gung-ho. This team is looking like a young team, but how can I say a team with experience beyond its years? You know, we go down a goal, heads don't drop, we get back into it. No, I mean, don't get me wrong, Granit Xhaka brings the team back up. Even Odegaard drills this team, but nobody puts their heads down. Even Gabriel, even Ramsdale, young defender, young goalkeeper, screaming, yelling. They don't muck about, you know what I mean? And look, once Jesus comes back, we can beat anyone. Now, that's a good point here. We've been doing everything that we've been doing. We've gone 5 points clear without our starting number 9. And don't get me wrong, at the moment, we've had Partey missing for a few games here and there. Previous seasons, we miss Partey, the whole thing goes to shit. And to be honest, luckily we had this buffer. We've still got a 5-point gap. I mean, doesn't that spur you on just a little bit with Partey getting injured? Usually it's like, oh, the league is over or top 4 is over. We managed to hold on. And at the same time, Jesus was missing, our starting striker, and we still managed to stay top of the league with a 5-point gap. And that's why I look at this team and I think, you know what? I'm starting to believe this. I'm starting to believe this team's got the minerals to go through and fucking win the league. It's starting to look that way. It really is.
What's very good is that a lot of players are chipping in with goals, and that's a very good thing for our side.
10 and 10 on the wings.
And when Jesus comes back, he's a top-class player, don't get me wrong. Brilliant player. But again, we still need other players around him to score goals because Jesus is not a natural goal scorer. We don't have that goal scorer that's going to score you 20-plus goals a season.
No. But we've got, you know what we do have? We've got 2 players in double figures, and I don't think any other team has got right now.
And that was what I was going to point out. That was what I was going to point out. We don't have one player who will give us 30 goals this season, 25 goals this season, but we have players who are getting in the numbers. We are spreading this responsibility across 4 or 5 guys, and at the end of the day, I think we could get the job done. When City have been dominating the last couple of years, let's say the last season, they did not have a player who was taking all of this responsibility on their shoulder. They were spreading it across the team. So if we can replicate that also, I think it's the league is there for the taking. But I hear your point. I hear you. We still need more quality to be able to really compete with the top dogs, which I do not disagree with. But I look at this team now, there is belief. I look at the way the other teams are playing also. There is belief that if we continue to take it one game at a time, if we continue to get the job done, we are winning this league if we continue. I think we have our destinies in our hand. It's not in waiting to what the other teams have got to do with this. If that comment that's saying if Gabriel Jesus comes in, Thomas Partey stays fit. If we go to Man City, I think I will be confident of us getting something out of that game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't see why we can't compete with them with a full squad. And look at the poll, guys. Martinelli is ahead. And look, I had my guy Silver One saying, where is Zinchenko in this poll? I couldn't make it a 5-way poll, all right? And I wanted to put him in there, okay? So Craig was saying it, Silver's saying it, I'm saying it, but I had to put in the guys that were sort of the most effective. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Big up Silver One. Akpos spinning those facts, bro. Big up. Big Scanner. That's why next season we'll be even more dangerous. Facts. The fourth goal was world class, by the way. I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree. The way Zinchenko seen, point, yep, done, quick, see you later. It was quick. That's what it was. It was all about being quick. Oh, here we go. All the Reds are dead apart from Arsenal. George. Guys, look, to be honest, I think this game in the Aston Villa game is what's turned around Arsenal. I think everybody was sitting there just going, oh, God, it's falling apart. Right on cue. This is when Arsenal are going to come down, crashing down to earth. And we've been able to come back against Aston Villa, you know what I mean, and show some fucking cojones. And then Everton, a team that we struggled against. And to be perfectly honest, our lineup didn't really change too much from the lineup that we used to face in the first time. But what I think changed in this game was the urgency, the belief, the passion, the desire. I think that's what it's all about with this team. Exactly. Those three things are key because the quality is there. The quality is always there. Every single one of these players, barring maybe Ben White, have got quality on that pitch. It's just about them putting it together, believing in themselves, and hopefully it getting us 3 points. In my opinion, I honestly think that this Arsenal team right now is probably one of the most exciting teams that I've seen since the Invincibles. And that's just my opinion. I haven't seen a team like this.
And I cannot disagree with you.
I don't know about you, Kyle. This team,
Absolutely.
Not saying they're as good as the Invincibles, but since the Invincibles, I haven't seen a team this convincing.
There's no doubt about it, man. There's no doubt about it, man. They're a very exciting outfit. I'm with some great young players. And there's a hunger. You can sense that there's a hunger there for success. And Arteta, say what you want about him. I think the man is a prick, personally. But that's just, we're not here to make friends with him. But that man is driven to win. You can see by him. You can run him down all you want. He wants to succeed. You can see by him at the touchline. I don't always be, and not always his greatest fan, but you can see the passion. He wants to win. The winning mentality is with him, and he brings it into the dressing room with him, and it's going through this current team that we have at the moment. You can see that there's a belief. You can see that they're fighting for each other. You can see the passion. And that's what I've been screaming for the last 19 years. Now what I want us to do is to move on and win this league, bring it back to the Emirates, and build on that. I'm not interested in second, third, and fourth. Not interested. It has to be number one now, and that's it.
To be honest, look, I think Mikel Arteta has put us in that position now where where a lot of people are demanding it. I think in this game, to be perfectly honest, it shows that what we can achieve when we put our heads down and fucking play the football that we can play. I mean, in previous games, I don't know if you guys can agree with me in this one. It was always to the right. This game started off in that fashion where it was all to the right, a little bit more to the left here and there. But we stretched them out a lot. And I think Leandro Trossard and Martinelli in this game on that left-hand side sometimes opens up the game a little bit more for Martinelli and Odegaard. And I think hopefully if we continue in this fashion with Trossard starting instead of Nketiah, hopefully against Bournemouth, we're going to be able to shift those defenders back and forth. In this game, to be perfectly honest, because we weren't one-dimensional like the first game, I think those defenders were trying to figure out what we were going to do next. Onana didn't know if he was moving left, moving right. We were constantly shifting and changing. Zinchenko was playing down the left-hand side, playing down the right-hand side. I think, in my opinion, this game shows what Arsenal have been capable of at the start of the season, and we're starting to show it in the second half of the season. We did stumble a little bit. I'm admitting to that. But this game showcased that we're not one-dimensional. It's not just to the right, to the left, to the left. This game, you were noticing both wings through the middle of the park, it was attractive football for me. And to be honest, I don't know. I think against Bournemouth, I want to see an unchanged squad, but I want to see much of the same.
And for me, I don't think I think most part of this season it's not just been about a squad team for us. I think it's about a system team. We have a system that is working. That if the personnel changes, the system is still functioning. I think if you take out one of the, we've seen Gabriel Jesus being taken away from the team because of the injury, but the system is still functioning irrespective of the personnel that comes in. The player might have a different set of skills, different quality, but we have a system that these guys understand what the manager wants and they're able to transmit whatever the manager is telling them in the dressing room into actions on the pitch. And also, I want to big up our experienced legs, our experienced players, because for me, in the last couple of years, I've seen when things go wrong for us, where we have bad patches, the guys who were supposed to be the leaders in the team, the guys who were supposed to be telling the younger lads that, okay, this is what we have to do. We have to keep our heads are not going to drop. Most of the guys making some of those mistakes, getting the silly cards, getting the silly red card. But this team now, these experienced guys are holding it together. So I want to pick them up. Zinchenko, I think that's a massive addition to this team. And I look at what he's doing for our team now, and Pep would be regretting on that decision to let him go to a team who's now competing for the league title with him. Thomas Partey for us, his availability, staying fit for most part of the season, I think it has been key for us because Thomas Partey is very, 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 it's very key to the way we play. I think it's the backbone of this team. If you take him out of this team, we've seen that we'll struggle. And Granit Xhaka, one of our best performers this season. We've seen that it's not getting into those silly fouls, those silly lunges anymore, and is contributing to this team. So the experienced head, and some players who might be very young, but they are showing experience. Gabriel, look at what he's doing in that defense. He seems to be the leader of their back four right now, a very young back four, but it's getting into that leadership quality. It's showing his leadership skill and showing that, yes, he wants to contribute. So these guys who are more experienced are doing what we as fans expected from them. When the boat is a little bit shaky, they are calming the heads of the younger lads that, okay, we will get over the storm. And so for me personally, if we can criticize them during those periods when they are not getting it right, we have to also pick them up now when they are getting it right, because I think they've been also key to the way this team is contributing. This team is performing right now.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's called the same energy. You got to come at Mikel Arteta, all the players with the same energy. When they do bad, you critique and you tell them they've done bad. When they've done good, though, you need to come out and give credit to Mikel Arteta for his changes in this game. I think there were perfect changes. I think the substitutions couldn't have been better and on time. I think you look at Gabriel again. You see some of the saves. You saw that one tackle to block that shot for fucking Ramsdale. He was outstanding in this game. He gets overshadowed by the Rolls-Royce William Saliba, but again, another great defender. Even Ben White in this game didn't play bad. Even Ben White right now in this game, he actually played pretty well. He was exposed once or twice, but that lead up to the first goal, the ball went to Zinchenko from who? From Ben White. So to be honest, you have to give that. Look, I don't want to be too positive, but the problem is we're top of the league, 5 points clear. We just won 4-0. We just beat Aston Villa 4-2. It's hard not to be positive, guys. Do you know what I mean? It's where's the negative? I've got Gabriel Jesus coming back. I've got ESR fit. It's starting to look like Arsenal's team is coming together strong. Seriously. And guys, if you could, because these guys here have been told, both Akpos and Kyle have both been told, and now I'm going to fucking call them out on it, that they have to plug their fucking channels, but they're not plugging their fucking channels. So if you haven't subscribed to Kyle Walsh Gunner, fucking go over there and subscribe to Kyle Walsh Gunner, because Kyle isn't fucking saying nothing. And Akpos, my guy, that's why these banners down the bottom, they're not saying anything. Say something, people. Not about the game, but about your channels.
Kyle Walsh Gunner.
we have to do.
Walsh Gunner.
That's what I want to hear. And DWTT, subscribe to that channel too, my American brother. Guys, honestly, Fran's in the building, guys. Fran's in the building, guys. She's late, but she's here. Better late than never. Just like Captain's Corner. Better late than never. Always happy to have yous. I'm honestly on a high. I'm looking forward to the Bournemouth game.
We're all on a high, and we're all doing well. and things are looking rosy in the garden. Boss, there's always a boss. Let's not get too carried away yet. There's a lot of fans getting carried away thinking that it's all over and done with.
No, it's not over yet.
There's only 5
not over
points
yet.
in it, lads. One slip up, and Man City are like the Terminator that just keeps coming and coming and coming. So, one to slip up, next thing there's 2 points in us, then it's squeaky bum time. Anything can happen. And I'm telling you here now, and everyone can hear me saying this. I'm not accepting second, third, or fourth. Simple. I will be wanting heads to roll.
Kyle Walsh Gunner is not happy with anything but a Premier League title. That's it.
The
If no
standards
Premier
have
League
to be
title,
up here, you see, Steve. The
Oh, no,
standards have to be up here.
I completely understand. I completely understand where you're coming from.
You have to understand something here. And people says to me that I'm negative and pessimistic and all, but I need people to understand. I witnessed Arsenal win their first trophy in 1987 against Liverpool in the League Cup. Charlie Nichols. I witnessed us going to Anfield beating Liverpool to win the championship. 1991, the double cup in 93, the FA Cup, League Cup, the Cup Winners' Cup in 94, the double in 98. I grew up watching all this. I've had to go out. I live here in Ireland, as you know, and I travel over to England to watch Arsenal. I was in Highbury many times. I've been in the Emirates many times. I spent lots of money on all the merchandise, traveling over to see games. So I expect the standards to be high.
But aren't they?
No league title this season from the positions that we've been in. No excuses.
No, of course. I completely understand that. But what I'm trying to say is at the start of this season, before any games were played, and guys, let me know in the comments if this is true or not, the league title was not being discussed amongst the Arsenal fan base. Am I right, Kyle? It wasn't being discussed
100%, Steve.
Because we were like, there's no fucking way. There's no way. Novice manager, young players. But now, feel me on this.
I'll be honest with you, man. You're spot on. Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
No, it was one of those things where you thought, no way it's going to happen. It's impossible. We're not going to be in a discussion. Manchester City have got the depth. Chelsea are there. Liverpool, blah, blah, blah. But now in the position that we're in, we have a manager that's got his team. He's got managers, got his players, and his players are now performing. I understand that, yes, in his position, it's a must win for the title, of course. But heads to roll after this, I wouldn't jump. I wouldn't jump to that. If we were to fumble last minute or this and that, I wouldn't want heads to roll. And I know it's like, but wait a minute, we didn't win the title. We weren't even talking about it at the start of the season. We're in the mix now. We're looking good. We're looking like we could win it. It's highly likely we will. But this is a project. And remember, we were all sitting there going, the process, what a bullshit process. Guys, this process, it's looking like a pretty good process. You know what I mean? We got some players like Balogun that's sitting there in another country, like Nuno Tavares that's also firing in a different country that no one is talking about right now. And maybe Kyle gets another striker, but his name's not Eddie Nketiah. You know what I mean? So I'm not with you when it comes to heads to roll. If Arsenal were to slip up, I'm down the garden path of let's see how it finishes, let's see what happens, and then we'll make an informed decision. I think right now, Mikel Arteta, with what he's shown, if he was to leave Arsenal right now, there would be many a club looking at him right now. Many a club would be looking at Mikel Arteta right now, what he's achieved with Arsenal so far, and saying, you know what? We might have him. Prince Fawad, here he is. Fans need to level up, get behind this young team and win the league. In Arteta, we trust. Well, Prince Fawad has always trusted in Arteta. I think we all know that. Here we go. Fran, from the position we have been in, it's hugely disappointing not to win, but it will depend on the circumstances. Exactly, Fran. But again, at the start of the season, Fran, where were you sitting? Where were we all sitting? Where are we now? And if this team can continue in this fashion, we're all jumping for joy. If we narrowly miss out, then it's okay. It's cool. I feel you on that. Akpos, I don't know about you. I don't know about you. What do you feel? If we were, let's say, the fucking horrible was to happen, and we were to slip up, would you agree with Kyle that heads must roll?
I don't. I would not agree with him with the fact that at the start of this season, personally, when I was asked, I was saying a top 4 finish because I'm looking at the process. I'm looking at what we did last season, and if we have to evaluate it, we were very close to getting into the Champions League, but we missed out narrowly. So for me, getting into the Champions League would have been progress, and winning the Europa League would have been progress for me. That was my target for the season. But looking at the position where we are right now, which I think like this manager has gone steps of what I was expecting, step ahead of what I was expecting, because the way it's looking right now, let's say if unfortunately we missed out, which I'm not hoping we will, we would finish second. And finishing 5th for last season and finishing second, that is massive progress. We need to look at that also. We also need to look at how much backing he has received, which I think it has been significant. Yeah. But what he has done so far, I think, is telling the managers that it's telling the owners that I could do so much better if you continue to back me. If you continue to give me your checkbook, I would be able to do so much better. So for me, at the end of the day, we have a manager, like what Steve said, we have a manager who is very brilliant. I look at him, is still improving, is still learning on the job. Because for me, I'm a keen disciple of relentless improvement. This is the manager who wants to continue to improve his process, who wants to continue to improve the team, and is still young. This is his first managerial role. And like Steve said, if he walks out of the door today, I think he's going to go into one of the top elite football clubs in the world. We should not forget that. So looking at what he has done in this short while where he has been at the Arsenal, I'm excited to what he can bring even more. So I don't think heads are going to roll if he misses out on any of these competitions, in my opinion. I think we should continue to back the manager, and with the right backing, we've seen what he can do already. I think there are even greater heights to what he can achieve.
No, look, I couldn't agree with you more on that one. BX Gunner made a point there, and I think I agree with him. His goal for Arsenal was win the Europa League and finish 4th. I was exactly the same. I need a top 4 finish because that means I'm in the mix, and win the Europa League. I'm pretty sure everybody wanted to be in a title race. Remember, everyone said, I want to not just be in a race, I want to compete for it. That's what I want Arsenal. That's what every Arsenal fan was saying. Are we not in a title race? Are we not competing for it? Are we not looking the business? Oh, here's a good one. Between now and when we play City away, big up, the Mr. Arsenal podcast, big up for this. Between now and when we play City away, all the league games are winnable games. But the team needs to keep their heads and focus game by game and keep doing what they have been doing all season. And that is a wonderful comment. Big up for that. Thank you very much. Yes, spot on. These are winnable games. This team has to keep its head. We're in 2 competitions, and that is it. Big time. Big time. And you know what? It's facts. DWTT in the building. Big difference last season. What do we got there? Sorry. Big difference last season. Holding on to top 4, then lost the spine. Now top of the table with depth in the spine. Number 1 forward back practicing. So he's wondering. He's convinced. He's just not saying it. The American is convinced, but he's not putting it out there. Guys, to be honest, I think this team right now is an exciting team. I don't know about you, Kyle. I'm not overly excited. I'm not jumping for joy, but I'm happy about the results, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from this team. And I want to see Kyle smile.
I have 2 questions.
Because you got $1 million smile.
I have two questions for Steve and Alpos.
You got it.
And Alpos there on the screen, the 2 of you. Number 1. How long does this process and this project last for? Because I'm sick and tired of listening to this bullshit. Process and project. Load of bollocks. They're after spending almost $500 million on players as we speak. He's there 4 fucking years now. The project and the process is finished with me. Now they have to win league title. End of story. And every time, at the beginning of every season, for the last 19 years, I want Arsenal to challenge for the league title and to win the league title. And for the first time in 19 years, they are competing. And I give them a round of applause and fair play to them. But no, this ain't no project anymore. We're standing on top of the table by 5 points. I don't want to hear this as an excuse when we fail, if we fail. That's number 1 question. How long does the project last for? Number 2. You just want to win the league title. Yes or no? I know you do. You just want to win the league title. I can smell it here on the screen. The three of us want this. We want us to win the league. From the position that we've been in, if they do not win the league title, this manager, this regime, will not win the league title with Arsenal Football Club next season either. Because next season, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea will all be back, and we have Newcastle as well. So it's going to be even tougher to win it next season. So when next season comes and we fail to win it again, what are we going to be doing? Are the three of us going to be sitting here this time next year saying, oh, it's a process, oh, it's a project, oh, it's a young team? Then it's 20 years without the league title. Then it's 21 years. Then it's 22 years. When is enough? 4 years. I want the league title, or I want heads to roll. That's it. That's my standard, and that's what I show for.
Can I say something there? Can I say something there? I hear you, Steve. Walsh, sorry. And I feel your pain because I've supported this football club from the era where we were top there, where we were competing for the Premier, the league title year in, year out, to where we just phased out. We were no longer being in the discussion. It was making top four, then from then making top four to get into the Europa League and all of that. So I hear you, but one thing that we should look out, it's something that's been a constant during that period as the owners. If you are calling for heads to roll, I think the right head that has got to roll should be the owners, not the manager, in my opinion. Because I think that's something that we've seen with the owners of this football club in the last couple of years. The managers get thrown under the bus. Some players get thrown under the bus. But we need to look at the bigger picture. Other managers have come and gone. They've not been able to perform, but they've gone to other football clubs also. They have done decent. But one thing that has been constant with this football club during that period are the owners. So if you are talking about head needs to roll, if this team does not go all the way to win the title, then we need to look at the bigger picture. We need to look at the owners, not the manager, in my opinion. Because this manager did not give Arsene Wenger significant backing during that period. We need to talk about that also. It was thrown under the bus. We know it stayed a little bit longer, but how much of backing did he receive? How much of investment did these owners put into the club in terms of player signings, in terms of giving in the players they need? But we're looking at these other football clubs. These guys have made significant investments in their playing squad. We need to talk about that. So for me, it's very easy for us to point at the managers because these are the guys we see addressing the pressers every before and after every game. But we need to look at the bigger picture also. The major constant for me during this period where we've seen our football club decline are the owners. So if we don't go all the way to win the Premier League and we are calling for heads to roll, then the owners have got to go, not the manager, in my opinion.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. This man's a fucking man after my own heart. Spot on. These owners have shortchanged Arsene Wenger. They did throw Emery under the bus. They tried to do the same thing with Arteta in his first season. Remember that. Now, everyone's looking, and I've said it to many people. You look at the puppet, you don't look at the guys pulling the strings. And it does fall on the cronkies. And I know it's $500 million, but let's put it into perspective right now. How much money have Chelsea Football Club just spent this season? £605 million. Exactly. One transfer window. How are they doing? They are an absolute shit show, an absolute shambles right now. So they spent the money, but they haven't spent it in the right areas. See, Arsenal, we've spent a lot of money. We have. But can you agree that the players that we do have, we did make mistakes early on with a novice manager, but the players we have for less money than what they've spent in one transfer window, Kyle. Think of it this way, less than one transfer window. We're looking like a better team than Chelsea right now, and they've just spent 660. I think the manager at the moment, he's gotten better, slightly better every season. This season, he's gone a little bit beyond. The owners are not coming under fire right now, but they'll always come under fire, mainly because they did screw us since the Emirates was built, and they haven't stopped. The money they've given Arteta is nothing. We're able to spend 220 to 230 million pounds a transfer window because that's the kind of money that Arsenal generate with change left over. Don't get me wrong, and that's with all the costs covered, without any money coming out of the Cronky's pocket. Now, if that wasn't spent under Wenger, that wasn't spent under Emery. So if Mikel Arteta starts spending money now, and it's a lot, it ain't nothing compared to how much money these guys got in their pocket from Arsenal Football Club. And where that money went to
Nobody
what
knows.
LA Rams shit it went to, I'll never know. But I couldn't throw Mikel Arteta under the bus. I couldn't.
Right.
Seriously couldn't do it.
I actually do agree with you, all, because when I say HD to roll, like I mean from the very top the whole way down.
Yes.
Okay.
Fine.
Fine.
Yeah, bloody, because
That's what I
they're the
mean.
ones.
Not just Arteta, from the very top all the way down, H would roll. I see someone mentioned there about me not that wasn't acknowledging Arsenal or something, that to have them as a contender or something there. I just like to answer that question.
Where was that? Where was that? Let's see.
Someone said about me not acknowledging Arsenal and they're a contender or something like that.
Oh, that was BX Gunner. BX Gunner came in. BX Gunner came in with that one. Here it is.
If I could see that again.
Yep.
Stop right now for Arsenal. Acknowledge Arsenal as a contender, as the others, because we're back. Yeah, and I'd agree, and I do agree with him, and I would never, ever write Arsenal off. 37 years supporting them, I'd never write them off. And I acknowledge them as a contender, 100%, and big up to you. You're right in what you're after writing. But what I'm saying is that I want Arsenal Football Club to be champions, not contenders. That's my standard.
That's fair enough.
That's just me, Steve. My standards are maybe a bit too high for people.
Let's go, Walsh. Let's go.
Let's look, Kyle. I'm with you. I am fucking with you on that one. But look, even BX Gunner came back and said next season Arsenal will build an even more, and the next season Arteta will have his full squad. So just because this season has gone the way it has doesn't mean we're not going to strengthen in the next transfer window. Can Arsenal will not just sit on these players.
Can I just ask that ex-Gunner, is that his name or?
BX Gunner.
Yeah, Big Gunner. I just
Gunner.
had to ask him. Like, he says that next season, he said, I can't read that, mate. I'm 45 years old.
It says next season, Arsenal will build even more. And next season, Arteta will have his full squad.
Well, if he has his full squad, and if we build and if we build more, and he has his full squad, and we fail and not win
next
the league
season
again next season, I just like him to answer me. Would he still back Arteta and the board and the owners, or is it time for a change then? Because we can't keep going where we're going. It's 19 years no league title. Next season, then, if we don't win it, that's 20 years, 21, 20. When is enough? So I know what the man, that's just a quick question for him. If with a full squad next season, and if we fail to win the league, is B going to back the whole Arteta situation? That's what I'm asking.
So you're saying if he fails next season with the squad, BX Gunner, this is to you. If Arteta is to fail next season with his full squad, is it time for him to go with the owners? That's a question to BX Gunner.
Yeah.
Football Capital come in and say,
I'm not arguing or anything. I'm just asking the question. That's all.
No, it's good. It's good. Football Capital says Arsenal will win the Champions League. He said it here first. Shit. Now that's a fucking big one. Hey, he's a Man United fan. He's a Man United fan saying this shit. He's saying it. Taib completely agrees with you, Kyle. He's saying spot on, Kyle. Spot on, fucking Kyle. Swear. And you know what? Big up, Taib. Our owners are so much wealthier than the Bowley too. Don't get me started on them. Fran, you know, I did a show on them. You know what I mean? I did a show on them. BX Gunner back in. We have to realize that we have fallen so far. We need to come back from scratch. Yeah, that's fair.
True.
Fran says we need to properly see some ambition from the owners, i.e. Bellingham. Oh, I was talking about Bellingham. I was talking about Tielemans. BX Gunner. Oh, here we go. How long did it take Ferguson and Klopp to rebuild? That's fair. Now, I look at Ferguson and I look at Klopp. I look at those two managers in regards to them taking over Man United and Liverpool, respectively, as two very, very experienced managers at the time. Now, everyone knows Sir Alex Ferguson, best manager in the Premier League of all time. Regardless, there's no arguing that. But it did take him some time, and this is a good fact that BX Gunner put in. It did take him some time for him to start winning cups. And Jurgen Klopp, with the Liverpool team that he had, did sell players here and there to replenish his squad and build the team that he wanted. Now, this is an experienced manager. Mikel Arteta and BX Gunner, I know where you're going with this, came into a fucking shit show with fuck all money. So I think is that the argument you're trying to make, BX Gunner? Because that's what I'm feeling on this. Is that what he's trying to say?
It's a very good point. It's a very good point that the man is after saying. And my answer back is that yes, it took him a good few years to get to where they got. Both Ferguson won 13 league titles, 2 European Cups. Wasn't it 2 European Cups? Klopp is that to win the Premier League. He's had to win FA Cups. He's had to win League Cups. He's had to win Champions League football. He's after winning Champions League with Liverpool, and he got to another final. And we're now 4 years into this, and we have an FA Cup. So, if
experienced managers,
if we're to give Arteta another 2 or 3 years, like Klopp and Ferguson, and give him his proper time, but then 2 or 3 years' time, I want to see us lifting league titles and European Cups.
No, I'm with you on that. If this season goes in the bin, and next season goes with it, of course, heads have to roll. I can agree with Kyle there. I don't know about you, Akpos, but if this season goes down the gurgler and next season goes with it, then of course heads are going to have to roll from the top to the bottom. Because I'll be happy to get rid of the Cronkies even now. I don't give a shit what they've done with Mikel Arteta. I want them now. I'd want them to go now.
I don't like this bullshit talk, lads, about top four. Like, it is Arsenal I'm talking about, yeah.
Of course, it's not top. We're a team that used to compete for the Premier League year in, year out. But unfortunately, just like Taib said,
can I say something on this one, because I totally disagree.
And it's not Wenger. You know what it is? Can I say one thing? Wenger loved this club too much that he was sold a dream by the Cronkies. Just like Jurgen Klopp is doing the same thing at Liverpool now and throwing himself under the bus. Is that what you were going to say, Akpos? Because that's what it is.
Exactly, because why I wanted to talk about this one is the man made the most of the resources he had at his disposal. Look at some of the teams Wenger was getting into the Champions League with, and tell me how many managers will be able to do it. Some of those teams the quality in those teams were poor, but it was getting into the Champions League with that team. So he made the most of the resources. We should not forget that what Papa Wenger did for those clubs was massive. Even those era where how much was it spending? How much investment were the owners making on the team, on the playing team, on the squad? So we should not just throw about in the places what it did for this football club. I think what it did was massive, because I think he's a top manager and he made the most of what he got at his disposal. Let's look at the areas when he had a very good team. What did he achieve? And look at the team it was getting into the Champions League with the likes of Benayoun, with the likes of Skilashi.
Yeah, bloody oath. Champions League winners. Look at this. Football Capital comes out, spitting it out. Napoli 2023, Arsenal 2024, United 2025. Football Capital, I'm asking you a question right now on the Aussie Gooner channel. If this season isn't a season that Arsenal or Man United compete for the Premier League, is it going to be next season? Am I going to get to see the old Lions go at it again?
The rivalry is back.
I know that Kyle will be sitting there right now thinking, I'd love to see fucking United and Arsenal at it again, cutthroat, because I miss those cutthroat days. The cutthroat days, the 2 days of fucking 2 teams are hammering. Because I look at Manchester City. Look, Manchester City and Liverpool. I see Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola hugging. Managers hugging. I miss the days of the animosity between Man United and Arsenal, Roy Keane and Vieira fucking going at it. You know what I mean? I want those days back. And Football Capital, are Man United going to be in the title race either this season or next season? Let me know.
I think Man United are in the league title race already.
I think so too.
Absolutely, 100%.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think they're just playing it down.
Yeah. And also, you're talking about turnarounds and stuff like that. Look at the job Ten Hag is doing at Manchester United, for example. He's after winning a cup in 7 months. It's been 4 years since they won a cup.
How long did it take Mikel Arteta to win the FA Cup?
3 months.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, bro. You know what I mean?
But what's our? But the thing is, what's Arteta after winning since then? 0.
Yeah, I know, but how do we know Ten Hag won't go on to do nothing as well?
I think Ten Hag will win another cup this season with Man United. I honestly do. I think they'll win that FA Cup.
Yeah, I think they got the FA Cup. I think they got the FA Cup. I think they got it. Yeah, I think they've got it. I think Man United are looking a better team. I think they are. Guys, to be perfectly honest, I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. This stream has gone over what I was expecting, but you know what? The fucking discussion was sexy. And look, if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to the Aussie Gooner channel, to my man Akpos's channel, to my man Kyle Walsh Gunner's channel. Turn on the notifications so whenever we chuck on some content, whenever we go live, seriously, come on, seriously, you'll be notified. We'll be doing some crazy shit as we do. And you know what we're going to be doing? We don't chat shit here. We don't. We call it straight down the line and we don't fuck a muck about. You know what I mean? I think we got one of the best communities out there. And to be honest, please support the communities because we are doing the best we can with what we got. Aussie, I need 4 more subscribers to reach 300.
Hit the subscribe button.
Subscribe to Fran's channel. Subscribe to her channel. She is growing fast. She is growing fast. Guys, from the Aussie Gooner, from Kyle Walsh Gunner, from Akpos, I'm going to say Uru, guys. It's Uru, guys.